to defend as well. Kinghorn shunders through for the first 5 in the game. He got the conversion as well.
What a dream start that was. Great conversion that gave them the 7-0 lead at that point. They kept the pressure on. Samu Manoa went in the bin, but there was another kick right there by AJ McGinty. That put the U.S. on the board at 7-3.
McGinty picks up his tee. AJ McGinty will need to try spark his side into action here. As Manoa, first player to be captain of the squad 8 years ago against Georgia, we'll have to watch.
Yeah, this is a huge next 10 minutes for this U.S. squad. If they want to stay in this ball game, they've got to keep the pressure on Scotland.
Scotland take this nicely inside the 22. George Horn, the man involved in that a moment ago, gets the ball turning away. Turner in there as well. Now to the boot they go. It's high. Scully's underneath this. He does well to keep it in. Blaine Scully to AJ McGinty. Excellent stuff from the captain.
Just hold.
Cam Dolan, man from the San Diego Legion Rugby Club. Playing the first season of Major League Rugby. McGinty goes yet again. Tackled by his opposite number, Hastings.
Not now, Tim.
Tafatea.
Advantage offside.
Still
Sean.
the US with advantage. Scotland very flat. Ball's been intercepted. It won't matter. That's why Savetta could throw the one-handed pass. He knew advantage was coming.
Sorry, number 7. 7 offside.
2 or 3 times Scotland looked to be very close to that offside line. That time Wayne Barnes pinged it for it. This is a great break for the United States right in front of the goalpost. AJ McGinty, we saw how spot on he was in his first attempt. And he's been that way all year long, and it looked like Luke Hamilton possibly came up a little too quick for the Scotland side. But that all started with that Blaine Scully take on this near touchline. Beautiful ball to get it back inside. And McGinty kept that ball alive. Let's take another look.
I think they are coming off it.
You can see at the top of your screen. I think it was prior to that. But that was the hooker, George Turner, that came up awfully quick. Savetta knew, I think, there was advantage being played. That's why he tried that miracle pass that didn't pay off. And McGinty now with another relatively easy shot at goal, trying to cut into that lead. And when you got a guy in the bin, anytime you can get points, it's a real bonus.
It really is. Plus it takes up time off the clock. 10 minutes is the yellow card offence. AJ McGinty, 26 years of age. Takes his time. McGinty turns his head straight away. Flags are raised. 14 points to 6 after 27 minutes. And McGinty gets his 40th penalty for the United States.
Bolly, just tell them to make sure their run's better.
McGinty and Lasika has been playing brilliantly offensively and defensively.
Let's get this timing better, okay? Make sure on the kickoff.
McGinty gets his 200th point as well for the US. Tremendous talent he's been since joining the squad. Hogg.
Thank you.
Goes high. This one available. Has it not been knocked forward? Yes, it has. Poor restart for the Eagles.
Exactly right. The United States returned the favor. So here was Scotland, great attacking position.
Last scrum on the money, okay?
Don't be surprised to see a little short side break here.
I'm not quite sure if he was
There's
level
enough room to do some damage out there. Melsar Brockie, the only man outside.
Patience, gents. Crouch.
Scotland.
Bind.
Just around the 22-minute mark, scrum time. A short blind side as George Horn feeds.
Yes, George.
Digs it out himself, does Horn. Finds his brother. Steps off the left foot, does Pete Horn.
Advantage.
And the US grab this one. Been knocked on and scuffle off the ball and back play as the Eagles go with the CK. Ball in one hand. Campbell lost that one. So it stays with Ferguson. And Scotland.
Knock on here, knock on back.
Double
here.
knock though,
First
says
one.
referee Barnes. We're going to come back to the original infraction. And wow, tremendous stuff there from both sides.
Helter skelter, 30 seconds right there. Yeah, just settle it down. Is what the Scotland plea is. It's going to come back for the United States, but that was a great Eagle scrum there. A man down that last time.
White ball knock on by
really held
nine.
firm against this Scotland team. Forced that knock on AJ McGinty again, a live wire on defense, created that turnover. The United States just could not handle it cleanly, but they are going to come back for their scrum. There's a man in the bin. So far, so good for the U.S. 5 minutes into this sin bin offense. They put the only points on the board.
1 second, fellas, you just... No, he's okay. No, right, he's okay, sorry.
This is another big scrum. They're going to be only 7 in that scrum.
Are we ready, sir? Yeah, we are now. Just
so you can sure enough, Lasike's going to come in on the flank, put a little more weight on that scrum, trying to get some stability.
Let's go, 40.
Cam Dolan's going to go in at lock position
same
with
Savannah. Same patience.
Here's a look at Lasike.
Crouch.
That short hairstyle of his, closest to you on the screen.
Bind.
The US played Scotland 6 times, the 3rd time on US soil. McGinty shapes the kick, cuts back in. AJ McGinty. Great feed from McGinty to Quill. Flanker John Quill was not held in that tackle. Able to go again. McGinty now drops back. Puts the spiral in. AJ McGinty. That's pure class from the fly half.
Excellent game so far by AJ McGinty. That's 3 or 4 times he's cut back inside on the Scotland defense. Perfect connection that was with John Quill.
Line jaws.
John Quill is a really dependable, solid player. Does everything right, and that's what the United States needed to do. Put the pressure back on this Scotland team. McGinty having a strong game.
What are you doing? Get on the line. Get on the line.
And he just adds so much to this U.S. backline attack.
He really does. Both Quill and McGinty originally from Ireland, combining superbly as Scotland inside their 22 now. So quickly this game changes. Vice captain Tim Swinson, the 31-year-old, takes that one. Horn looks up for his box kick. Hasn't got tremendous distance on that. It's flicked back there, and then a jump over from Kinghorn. Looked dangerous initially on AJ McGinty. Barnes says play on.
Hold.
Scotland with Hastings. Drops this one low. Blaine Scully has it. The captain from Cal. His knee hit the ground. He was held in the tackle, then got up with ball in hand. Penalty against Blaine Scully.
Clearly tackled and then got up and run up.
An opportunity wasted for this U.S. It went right to Blaine Scully, trying to set something up, ran sideways, easy to bring down. But Blaine has done a wonderful job as captain. A little frustrated with that decision of his. And this will allow Scotland to come right back in and put the pressure and territory back on U.S. And again, another huge touch finder. Look at that kick, all the way down to about 10 meters out. Those are the kind of things that forwards just love when you fly half or fullback and put those pinpoint precision kicks down deep.
Don't stand
set
in the
up your
middle,
line out.
I'll give you time if you need to adjust, but don't please just stand in the middle, okay?
And the crowd are certainly enjoying this international rugby action. We're here at BBVA Compass Stadium in Houston, Texas. Humidity will its role in the second half as we wind down. 7 minutes to go in the first period. 1 minute 20 on the yellow card offence, but it's Scotland that peel away at the line as they drive for the try line. Just short. Now they reach over. The ball's down. Referee Barnes says try, and it's Scotland. They get number 2, scored by George Turner. 2 on his back. The Scots straight away back in the thick of things.
George Turner follows up his three-try game last week against Canada with a score here. And it was just before the sin bin offense of Samu Manoa expires. Just about a minute left in that yellow card. So Scotland taking advantage finally of that man advantage. And George Turner down deep. And it was that pinpoint kick by Scotland that put the pressure on. And look at that very creative line out. I mean, they had 5 or 6 guys all alone steaming for that line. You're going to see a good look at George Turner. Just goes right through the legs of the U.S. defender to dodge down.
You can do that to the side. No, you make the side. Okay,
Turner,
you make the
27-year-old, played some rugby in New Zealand through the McPhail Scholarship.
No, hold on, you go and talk to the side.
His debut.
Oh, no, but he's saying
against Samoa.
Keep going, please.
And here's another look at the try.
Yeah, watch this precision on the drive. Look at the United States looking at the tail end, thinking they're going to go infield, but the Scots fool them, come back near that short side. And Turner's just going to go right through the legs of John Poole to score that try. Again, the United States forwards a man down in there. That weakened that line-out effort defensively. Scotland took full advantage.
That's right.
And Samuel Manoa looked like he's coming back on here very shortly for the United States.
What's happening with the clock? Why is it?
Much needed for the Eagles as you take a look at George Turner. His first start in 4 caps for his country. Now the conversion attempt from right wing Blair Kinghorn. He's converted one from the other touchline. Missed the penalty. This one though. Bullets towards the goalpost and it's through. It's Scotland that lead the United States by 21 points to 6.
Samuel Manoa comes back on for this U.S. squad. Discipline is a must for this United States team. Scotland's going to be a big enough challenge. 15 on 15.
Really nice to
have to stay on the field of play.
Can the US strike before
start and then just made up
the 40-minute mark?
Right now.
AJ McGinty, we've seen how creative he is.
It's accurate now. Four and a bit to go.
Needs some spark as well from the outside backs if we can get Lasike going again. Bruffy comes chasing down here, but Scotland absorbed this one. Anishev lost it. It's pressure from the US. Bryce Campbell, the Glendale Raptor, takes this one up inside the 22. Tafate steps with the left of his. In his 16th appearance at hooker. Behind the back they go. Kamisais finds his captain Scully, cuts back in. Manoa looking to make amends for that yellow card offence. Surging for the line. The US with Davies. Ball's not backwards. Cam Dolan picks this one up. The tall tumber. Still there for McGinty. Scotland don't buy the dummy. But it's still available there for the men in white. Tafate with a little help from his friends. USA chants reverberate through the stadium. Eric Fry closer to the line. Another pick and drive.
Use the line. Advantage.
Tafate spins around. It's over. It's a glorious score for the hooker. Joe Tafate has got the first Eagles try, and it's right underneath the sticks just before halftime.
5 meters and it is Tafate territory. 11 tries now in 15 matches for this U.S.
Your advantage
hooker.
as well, so just around the
And he is just so powerful. Keep the legs moving. A little tired after that ordeal. He had about 3 or 4 runs in close. Good play by this U.S. forward pack. And down you hit it right on the head. Can they strike before the half? It was almost a must that they did so. And good pressure again by the U.S. Look at the spin right there. That was made it just a one-on-one with Horn. And Tafate just too explosive, too powerful to be stopped
well, that was a total accident
by the inside center. Again, keeping those legs turning. Wonderful try.
Such a massive unit indeed. The conversion is successful from AJ McGinty, and that narrows the gap now. 21 points to 13 after 38 minutes played, and a lot of confidence for this USA team.
Yeah, and that's the difference between this Eagle team over the last couple of years. They stay in the match. They do the things to get back in the game if there is a bit of a deficit. This team is in really good shape, and I expect to see this one go all the way down to the wire.
Well, the US ranked 15th in the world, Scotland 6th. Stuart Hogg, the most experienced player on the field, goes to Marcel Brachy. Scored a 60-meter try last week. He's got backwards tremendous feet as the winger. Davies gets his forwards there with him.
And use it!
Got McGinty in the pocket. Long kick downfield. McGinty gets a bit of pressure on him.
Yeah, fans wanted a little bit of a late hit, I believe, against Scotland.
All I'm saying, my friend, is that
here's a chance for Scotland before the half. Just about 30 seconds left on the clock. Not sure if there's a whole lot in that. Looking for a late charge.
Scotland go quickly, meanwhile, to Hastings. To the line. Short, flat ball. Look forward to Nick Grigg. Scotland look to close out the first half. Ben Toulis from Brisbane, Australia. Played volleyball with Australia under 18 and under 20, then switched to rugby.
Tackle!
Scotland on the right-hand side. They have advantage. Now Hastings to the line. Grigg yet again. Siren sounds and back play. Grigg able to get up and go, wasn't held. This one dropped through. Xander Fagerson. And then Hastings hit by the missile. The CK.
Advantage offside, penalty kick.
Horn hammers this one out wide. Cutting back in. Byron McGuigan. The forwards finally get him. Hastings sees a bit of space, puts it to the foot. Cooley.
No advantage, offside.
The referee's going to come back for an offside play from the United States. So penalty here for Scotland. Kickable indeed.
Silly play by the United States. They got to have more discipline than that. That's not how you close out a half.
12.
When you just scored a try to change the momentum, now you're giving 3 points right back to Scotland. Easy kick right in front of the goalpost to make matters worse for this U.S. squad.
Okay,
Joe Taufete'e, a little slow getting up, looks like something undue with the right arm possibly. But these are just growing lessons for this United States squad. They got to finish the halves better than they have here in this one, especially against Scotland.
Yeah, do you know what?
Can't go and looking for a little explanation. I'm not sure if he's the one who got picked for offside. He did come up awfully quick, so it might have been him. Taufete'e now up on his feet. That's a good sign for the U.S. Right shoulder, looks like.
Yeah, getting some words there from the coaching staff. And that's Sean Pittman, former Eagle, 30 caps to his name.
Yeah, we are.
So take a look here on the Scottish penalty attempt. 2 for 3 so far is Blair Kinghorn.
Time as well, fellas.
The 21-year-old.
Yeah.
Kinghorn from in front. Put it out to 11 points. He's nailed it. And that is half-time. It's Scotland that lead the United States by 24 points to 13 at BBVA Compass Stadium. And we're going to be right back with the highlights from the first 40 minutes. Stay with us.
USA Men's Rugby on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Emirates Airlines.
It means the score at half-time is 13-24. John Beattie and Chris Patterson will take you through it.
Thank you, Dougie. Scotland in possession. Still a hot, sweaty evening, getting darker in Houston. Taken up by the try-scoring sensation. It is George Turner at hooker. Horn back to Hogg. Hogg uses that spiral kick. It travels a mile, doesn't it? Back to Will Hooley. And Hooley, he kicks two, taken again by Hogg. And Hogg, this time with an up and over kick. Longer. Dips onto AJ McGinty. McGinty. I think they're both playing a bit safe here. Look at the crowd, quite a decent crowd here, and that's gone straight out, and that's why you kick, isn't it? Someone makes a mistake, you get the line out.
Yeah, you're just looking for that, applying the pressure. I thought Will Hooley kicked too early. There was a good maybe 25 or 30 metres of space ahead of him. He decided to kick, and when it came back to shoot Hogg, he returned it, and AJ McGinty kicked out in the full. That gives Scotland the chance to launch early on this second half.
Beyond 15.
And Scotland just got that one read this time by Samu Manoa, taken up by Joe Taufete'e. He's already got that one try. Scots looked a little bit offside, and then McGinty through the gap again. Hastings is just brushed off. A good counter-attacking by the Scots. Offside, says Wayne Barnes.
For a high tackle, I think, as well. Luke Hamilton. Yeah, he called it right away. It was just a little bit high from Luke Hamilton, but it wasn't a huge amount of force, so it's a penalty only. We might have another look at it. I'm not sure, but see McGinty challenging the line again. Matt Fagerson did really well to chase over and make the tackle.
Yeah, no worries.
The high tackle was just before that. And there was no advantage. A good counter-ruck from Fagerson. No advantage. That's another good kick from McGinty.
Good kick. The USA then will have a line out just 7-8 metres out from the Scottish try line. McGinty gives these orders. The interesting thing about that Scottish try from the maul was they kept the ball at the front, and therefore they could break off and go down the short side. Taufete'e 2 pods of 3 to pick. They come into the middle, taken by Civetta, the big number 5. Civetta 6'8". I think he's been at Newcastle, been in a few teams, and there's a Scot on the ground there, needs to be careful or it'll be a penalty. America then making ground. They had momentum, it's been taken down, it's a penalty. Taufetti around the corner. Oh, Taufetti, what a score! Oh my goodness, that is power, that is abrasion. The second try from the hooker. Alarm bells among those Scottish players.
Well, he scored 2 last week, Joe Taufetti. He's got his second so far this evening. He's similar in many ways to his first. He's so powerful. The initial contact, the initial tackle that comes in is a big hit, but he manages to ride that, drive his legs through, and then drives to another tackle, stretches out to score the try. The Maul's moving forward, there's a penalty advantage, he's been pulled down illegally, and then from a standing start he manages to bash through Turner and Hamilton, and George Horn hangs on. Xander Fagerson has a shot, no one can stop him.
Do you know, in the immortal words of, he had a lot to do, and he got through what? 4 Scots, 2 Scots missed him, and then 2 were hanging on to him as he went over the line. Good try.
And it's from a standing start off the back of the Maul. It's not a run up, he's not carrying momentum into the ball carry. He's almost going backwards initially, and then it just shows you that the initial contact from the defender is good, but that wrap has to then come, and it has to be a good wrap against someone like Joe Taufetti, because he has the power, he has the width to bash through it and get through and fight through, and a bit of a composure as well to slam the ball over the line.
It was the perfect start in the first half for Scotland. This is the perfect start to the second half for the USA Eagles. McGinty then, McGinty sends it, does he? He does, sends it between the posts, touch, judges, flags are up. We have a game, 4-point difference.
He's been a threat, hasn't he? All in his line-out, his set pieces been good, his line-out throws been good, but it's been destructive in the loose. Made some big collisions. We saw him getting a bit of treatment on his shoulder earlier on. He's obviously had a bit more treatment at half-time because he started the second half with a bang. Tackle in the air.
Yep, in the air.
Yeah, just too eager, too early from Blair King. Almost looked as if he delayed the tackle initially, almost hoping that Brackey was going to hit the ground, and then just came in just a fraction of a second too early. Tackle in there, and it's an easy out for the USA.
Yep, Taufetti was born in California, played for the Worcester Warriors. Big, strong player that he is too. And you just can't, well, Kinghorn just he couldn't pull out. Well, he was committed.
Yeah, so it was Hooley that was in the air. He got up well, didn't he? And he almost hung in the air there. And as soon as you're in there, you have all the rights. Any contact at all, there'll be a penalty against that, the contact.
US, here's your man, the one-man wrecking ball that is Paul Lasike, the big Kiwi taken on by Taufetti. The US much better now, and they come down this left-hand side again. Lasike, Sean Davis, they're in a bit of a groove, taken up by Manoa. Davis looks and complains. They've got a penalty. It's all the USA Eagles.
It's a wee bit desperation from Luke Hamilton. Wayne Barnes is explaining it was a second attempt to go for the ball. He was fine initially, he was cleared out, but then he went back with his hands in the ruck. You can't use your hands in the ruck, and it's a really good start to the second half by the USA. They've got the ball carriers, the big ball carriers running onto the ball, causing the Scottish defence a lot of trouble. And even though they're under trouble and make the tackles, they're then being a little bit indisciplined in or into contact. Luke Hamilton will be frustrated with that, and it's just desperation trying to win the ball back. This is Manoa, getting hit hard by Xander Fagerson. He releases fine, there is fine, but then that's a second effort in the ruck. You can only use your hands once at the start.
AJ McGinty to bring it to a 1-point game. 24-20 the score. US, the momentum shifted. Scotland were doing well first half. It's been all the USA this second half, with that try by Taufetti and his second try. McGinty then, he's got 4 out of 4. In the background, big Eric Fry looks on. There's a smiling Taufetti. Well, there's the view into the night sky in Houston. McGinty strokes it gently, and he bisects the posts. And the Americans are much better.
Well, they did this last week as well. They started the second half very, very well indeed. They brought more physicality, they were quicker in their attack, and they've certainly got the momentum shifted back towards them. It'll be interesting to see how Scotland cope with that and what they do. They need to get possession, they need to clean up their discipline and look after possession a bit better. They've not touched the ball in the second half and have already conceded 10 points.
Stuart Hogg sends it up again. Kinghorn chase taken by Braca, Marcel Braca. And Davis, this little scrum half, looks left to the big Irishman, Paul Mullen. And Davis again calls for the block. Batty tries to do some counter-attacking, tries to take Nick Civetta, and Davis chases. Hastings to Hogg. Hogg looks up McGuigan. McGuigan's not had much to do. It's been all the forwards. Here he goes. Good tackle by the USA Eagles. Horn looks. He's beavering away. Hogg trying to command. Again, he gets bashed back by Lasike, who's having one of those devastating little games. Horn sneaks through. Picked up by Toulis. Toulis driven by Jamie Batty. Horn again. Been very impressed by Horn to Fagerson. Yep. Slightly isolated. And they still have the Scots. Hastings takes it from right to left. It's shepherded out by Blaine Scully. Back to the fullback, Will Hooley. Hooley sends it down the pitch. Great game. Lots of different things to chew over. Stuart Hogg, ball in two hands, tries to go down that middle route. He's smothered by the white jerseys. Horn, he's got confidence, George Horn, pointing out to Batty. Batty runs into Manoa.
Scotland could just do to move the ball one more pass. You can see how tight and strong the USA defence is, and there's Blair Kinghorn, wriggles free.
What a game he's having, Blair Kinghorn. He looks to his right, he's got Swinson if he needs him, taken down by Braca. Horn looks up, finds Swinson. Swinson gives it to Hogg. Momentum for the Scots to Grigg. Oh, Grigg is hammered. That's the strength of the tackling. That is the strength of the tackling. Great break by the Scots. Absolutely nailed by Lasike.
Yeah, it was Blair Kinghorn with a fantastic break. Just as I was saying, you need to maybe give an extra pass. It was the cut, it was a switch play, a little bit of deception. And then Blair Kinghorn wriggled free, had the power to get in behind, make 20 or 30 yards really well. Good handling from the Scots thereafter to get the ball on the edge. Stuart Hogg does really well here after Tim Swinson's tip on. And then if we watch Lasike there, just accelerates and throws himself. There was an attempt to wrap his arms, so it was a legal challenge. Nick Grigg bounces back and he's back in the field.
Yeah, McGinty with his left foot. What a game. Good game. Hogg in the middle of the pitch, as always. Ball in two hands, as always. Runs into his own man. Not usual. Not happy.
The American chase is very good, isn't it? There's not a lot of space. We've seen 2 or 3 times where Hogg and Kinghorn wriggled through there off the second or third phase, but from the initial kick chase, the stop goes on. The kick chase from Americans is very good. Good low tackle as well. So it's almost as if Scotland either need to kick a little bit more, or maybe move the ball 1 or 2 passes wide, or shift that strong kind of middle unit of the defensive system a little bit wider.
I think he was saying to Matt Fagerson too, I don't want you in front of me. If I'm lip reading him correctly earlier on, I think he wants the players in front of him to get out of the way. But not sure you can blame Fagerson for standing his ground.
No, not really. See the bench, which we believe will make a difference. Luke Hamilton has been replaced. There's a lot of experience in Scotland's bench. We've spoken about how young and inexperienced the starting team is, but there's a lot of experience and a lot of ability on the bench as well. You see, I assume it was Dave Denton we saw coming on for.
Looked like it.
For Luke Hamilton.
Not on yet.
Not on yet, certainly.
US ball.
Grant Gilchrist is stripped, ready to come on.
Looks like Fraser
Brown coming on in the back row. Now that
he was a back row player, wasn't he, Fraser Brown?
He was a back row player and he moved to hooker. As did George Turner. So is this a direct kind of ploy as to put more pressure on the breakdown, win the possession back? Remember when Gregor Townsend was interviewed before the game, we saw during the water break, he highlighted that area. One of Fraser Brown's biggest strength is how combative and competitive he is over the ball and around the breakdown.
But he was injured last week, wasn't he?
He had his rib injury. Sternum.
Crouch.
He's a tough lad, Fraser Brown. and he will make an impact. He's a great tackler, and it'll be interesting to see what he brings in around the breakdown.
Finely balanced game. Scots get the nudge. Oh, was that picked out the side? No, you can't do that. But referee hasn't seen it. Play on. The US. They've got Fry there as well. Taufetti is lurking with intent. Ball comes back the US side. Fry takes, runs straight into Swinson. Swinson has him bottled up. Manoa, and then that's McGinty. This is the wrecking ball. Is Lasike to the fullback. Hooley, the US a much better second half. They're making ground. And Adam Hastings, has he turned it all? He's been told to take these hands off the ball. This is Manoa. They've got a certain abrasion to them, haven't they? They've got some bulk. This is Fry. Fry, the French-based player. McGinty playing very close to gain line. Kick through, taken by Hogg. Hogg gives it up to Pete Horn. Pete Horn flings a long one to McGuigan. McGuigan left-footed, and he has sclaffed it, as you would say.
A couple of really nice pieces of skill. Samuel Manoa shifting the ball, such a big ball carrier. He shifted the ball just ever so slightly to get the USA attacking down the right-hand flank. And then after AJ McGinty's sort of kick through was half charged down, Stuart Hogg did a wonderful job of sliding forward with a greasy ball, picking up and flicking it away. You see Grant Gilchrist coming on for Lewis Carmichael. He'll bring a lot of experience as well. And a bit of grunt round the breakdown, big ball carrier, big heavy hitter. Grant Gilchrist, he'll look to make an impact as well.
Taken off the top, USA have it. McGinty, ooh, cool little ball inside to Blaine Scully. USA, what you would call in the van. Taken up this time by Nick Civetta. Back the other way they come to the number 6, John Quill. Quill makes that extra couple of meters. Still the USA have it. McGinty kept it late, and that's just lost forward by the big hooker, Taufetti. It'll be a scrum to Scotland.
It's his first mistake, isn't it? He got the ball quite late from McGinty, almost under the pressure of the tackle, and just couldn't keep a hold of it. But Scotland look understandably tired. The momentum's with America, and this is really good in a lot of ways for Scotland to deal with this. The young players.
It's a test.
It is a test, and it's really good for the players in the development to see how they cope with this, because they're up against it. The momentum's gone against them. The USA have scored 10 points early in the second half. They're able to. They've been quite intricate with some of their attack, the USA. So it's great for Scotland to be in many ways. I think this is what the Scottish coaching staff would want. They want to see the guys under this pressure, see how they react, and hopefully come out on top.
Well, there we go. There's some fact-finding stuff for you. It's MLS Houston Dynamos. And yeah, the capacity is 22,000. The pitch width is 73 metres, 105 long. And we're not supplying these pictures, or else we wouldn't have this. For oh, there's a water break. Will there be a water break? No, it's not a water break. It's gone.
Looks bigger than 22,000. Yeah, surprised at that. More, I don't know. I'm not sure how many is there this evening, but it certainly looks like a bigger stadium than 22,000. Now, this is important for Scotland. They need to get possession. Since the second half started, they've not had possession or been able to control possession long enough to influence the game. Let's see how they go at the scrum.
Yeah, Scotland have won the last 5 matches against the USA, most recent of which came in 2015. Scotland won by 39 points to 16. Horn gives it width to Hastings. Hastings to McGuigan. McGuigan, again, I think it slightly comes off the side of his boot. And it's going to be a line out.
It was taken back. The scrum was outside the 22. And it was good. It was the right idea from Scotland. Obviously didn't want the ball to travel straight into touch. But they'd worked the kicking option, and they're looking for that kick to go long down the channel.
Struggling to get out of the territory, aren't
they? Just needing possession. Needing possession. But as I said before, this is a challenge that I think the coaching staff and the players will relish, and to see how they cope with it, because the Americans certainly have the momentum at the moment.
Go on then, get in then. They've got 5, haven't they?
Well, there's the man of the evening, Taufetti. 2 tries. Quickly down. Taken round the corner by Hancock Hermes Hayes. Good weight trainer, good strong rugby player. Davis gives it out. This time to the number 6, John Quill. Round the corner comes Taufetti. He loves contact, but that's a good tackle this time by Fraser Brown. That's doing exactly what you said he would do.
Taufetti still managed to wriggle free though.
And here's the number 12, Lasike, Paul Lasike, brilliant piano player, evidently. Can just pick up a piano. No, we won't pick up a piano.
I bet you could.
He'll take up the piano and play anything you want. A bit of a late hit there by the men in blue, and USA on the attack. McGuigan might well kick this ahead. Just that could have gone the other way. Taken up by, this is the really quick number 8, Cam Dolan, 6'6". He specialises in interceptions. And the USA have. Davis is there. This is a really absorbing game in terms of what's happening. Great little break by AJ McGinty. McGinty almost up to the Scottish 5-metre line. Davis looks up, gives it to the fullback. Will Hooley with a longer ball to Brackey. Brackey, who's playing his rugby in Australia for the Western Force. Davis, it's all the USA Eagles. It is all the USA Eagles. Ferguson with a tackle, brave one it was too. Dropped by Eric Fry, it went forward. It's Scotland have the ball. George Horne is being taken back, and the crowd can calm down a bit, as can we.
Oh, it's physical, isn't it?
Okay.
It's really good. Physical, hard stuff. Scotland are facing up well defensively. They're missing 1 or 2 tackles, but the physicality is there. They're getting in the line, and they're not contesting the breakdown overly hard. I thought they would contest it harder, in all honesty, but they're getting bodies in the line and putting their tackles in. But let's take a moment to kind of appreciate what the USA are throwing at Scotland. Their attack is outstanding. They're moving the ball when it's sweaty, it's hot. They're getting the big ball carriers with the ball in hand.
I think we're getting a brand new front row on.
I think so. Well,
I just heard 1 and 3, so that'll be Dell and McCallum coming on for Jamie Batty and Xander Ferguson. I think I heard Wayne Barnes say that. So, and I think I heard 13 Nick Grigg going off too, and that'll be Mark Bennett.
I'm interesting to see, but yeah, the Taufetti is getting treatment, so they could be changing the USA front row as well. But they are. Their attack is improved as the game's gone on, and they're not doing the same thing. They're varying it well. There's a kick attack. AJ McGinty is controlling things. We're going to hear from Gary Gold now.
You have to be pretty pleased with that 9-try performance last week against Russia.
Yeah, there were elements of that performance that were really pleasing. Obviously, elements of that performance that I think still need some work on. But yeah, by and large, it was a good performance. I think there were some things we did really well. Some things we set out to do that we accomplished, and always, as will always be the case, there'll be areas that we want to work on.
And this week you face your biggest challenge as coach, as the Eagles face the 6th-ranked Scots. How does a match against a quality side like Scotland play into your World Cup preparations?
Perfectly, really. This is exactly the type of opposition and the quality opposition that we need to see how far we've evolved, see how far we've come as a team. We know what pool we're in Japan. I mean, it's a pretty strong pool with England, France, and Argentina. So if we can't go toe to toe with a quality outfit like this, then then there's going to be a very, very long 4 weeks in Japan. So we know how massive the task is. We've got a huge amount of respect for this Scottish team. Brilliant campaigners, professionals throughout, and highly experienced, and really excited to see how far we can come today.
Thanks for your time, Gary. Best of luck today.
Always a pleasure. Thanks, Brian.
Well, you're back with us live, and we have a ding-dong game here, don't we? The action in Houston is as red hot. Whoops. Yeah, USA Rugby. Hey. He won't come from Morningside, will he? Go on, US. That's what you want.
I wonder if he's got his boots with him.
I'm just being told I've got to wait, so...
There's 1 or 2. You can see the changes you hinted at, John.
Yeah.
Alan Dell's on, Murray McCallum.
Okay.
So it's 2 new profs for Scotland. Taufetti still there in the front row for the USA. There he is. He was looking considerable pain just before we went to the water break. His shoulder on his ribs.
He plays prop and hooker. Taufetti.
I think he could play both at the same time.
That's the line of the evening.
It's some machine had 2 tries.
Mark Bennett, I think, lining up for the short one. Oh, Scottish scrum trying to make some ground. Ferguson gives it to Bennett. There's the crash up from him. He's held up. He's held up. Away he goes, say the referee. Horn flings it back to Hogg. Hogg long down the field. To Will Huey. Hooley, the Englishman, well, he's not English, he's playing for the USA, but had played for England under-20s, taken securely by Matt Ferguson, looks up, finds his captain. Good captaincy material.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll lead by his performances, and you can see he's taken a lot of extra responsibility, and we've got another situation where no one wants to make a mistake. Both teams are playing for territory, well taken by Matt Ferguson. I assume Barry McGuinn will kick this long as well. And they're either looking for a wee chink in the kick chase, or they'll put it back in the air, go contestable, and try and win the territory with a kicking battle.
AJ McGinty's been very impressive. He's been very impressive. Gives it to the number 7, Hermes Hayes. And that was exactly what Chris Patterson was talking about. They wait till a mistake, and the USA go ahead of Scotland in Houston. McGinty with a break after the kick. And the number 7, Hanko Hermes Hayes, with the try that sends delight through the American supporters in Houston. What a score.
Well, they deserve it. They've been by far the better team in this second half so far. 20 minutes into the second half. He's a hard worker, Hermes House. He's been physical in around the breakdown. He's lost a couple of balls in contact, but he'll not worry about that now. Time and time again, the ball was put in the air. There's 2 or 3 long kicks. McGinty decided to go high, put pressure on. Unfortunately for Matt Ferguson, he can't hold it. McGinty regathers his own kick, offloads to Hermes House, and he dives over in the corner. We were saying Scotland will relish a challenge. There's certainly a big challenge ahead of them now. I think USA deserve the lead. They've been the better team in the second half, and he's certainly delighted with his score. Dived over in the left-hand corner. That was the ball. Unfortunately, didn't quite get his body in the right position. Matt Ferguson. McGinty has been so influential. Hermes House dives over for the 3rd try of the evening for the US.
Do you know, you talked about McGinty, and he has been very, very key. And, you know, we talked about these 8 teams. They've started this MLR, and Hermes Hayes plays for the Austin Elite team of Major League Rugby. So he plays for one of the 8 pro-American teams. And if this is what's happening, this is the future of USA Rugby. Great kick. That is a great kick under pressure. The USA, the tide's turned in Houston. USA have a 6-point advantage, and Chris Patterson, they deserve it.
Do deserve it. There's lots of time left. There's 20 minutes, obviously, and Scotland will by far have a big impact in the remainder of this game. But I think for the moment, for the momentum of the game at the moment, the USA deserve the lead.
Scotland have won the last 5 games against the USA. Houston, we have a problem.
Not yet.
Not yet, you're right. Always be positive. Davis, Swinson tries to charge it down. Look at the floodlights in the sky. Taken by Adam Hastings. He got clattered, but was a foot in touch. It was. It's going to be a line out. Listen to the whoops in the background. The players love it. The USA Eagles players love it.
Well, that was a brilliant kick by Sean Davis. Adam Hastings did well to keep that, to get underneath the ball, to catch it. He did all that he could to try and stay in field, but the ball's landing a metre, less than a metre from the touchline, and Marcel Bracchi with the follow-up. Adam does really well to try and keep the ball alive, but his foot was in touch.
Yep, the USA Eagles have some substitutes on too now. Titi Lamositele is on at prop, and round the short side they want to come. More confidence. You can see the confidence surging through them. Again, that long block for Davis. He pulls it deep in the maul. Swinson's charged it down. Tim Swinson. Play on, says the referee. This is a right scrap of a rugby game. Davis comes left. Dolan tried to offload.
It's too late now, mate.
62.5 minutes gone. 6-point deficit. Scotland losing in Houston. Again, they've used the kicks to advantage, haven't they? Taken by Kinghorn, one of Scotland's top players this evening. Horn then into that rhythm of his. Ferguson past Dolan. Has some help from Fraser Brown. Gives it to Adam Hastings. Hastings tried to sneak through, dropped. Ooh, then tackled the scrum half beyond the ball. And Adam Hastings. Well, yeah. Peter Horn saying he can't get into support. He's being blocked.
Yeah, he's saying watch it off the ball stuff. Maybe just planting the seed in Wayne Barnes' mind. Unfortunate for Adam Hastings there, it was a right decision. There was a little bit of space in between the two defenders, but as he challenged it, he threw the ball forward, and as Wayne Barnes just retorting, well, listen, I'll decide what happens. Don't challenge everything.
Do you know, I think one of my favourite rugby words is bite. When a team has bite, and a bit of, you know, the All Blacks have bite. This USA Eagles team has bite.
Well, they do.
And some physicality.
And don't forget, they were 7-0 down within the first 2 minutes, so they were, you know, they fought back from that, and then Scotland went 14-6 up. So they've got bite. They've got a composure, but they've also got a level of accuracy. The last 2 or 3 box kicks from Sean Davis and the chase has put so much pressure on Scotland that they can't get the possession, they can't get the flow going. And Scotland, they don't need to panic, but they just need to try and keep the ball under the pressure and retain it in order to be able to drive their own standards in their own game. There's 2 or 3 changes, John, on the bench.
Yeah.
More experience coming on.
Dave Denton comes on. Huge player. He'll relish this. He'll relish the hits. Sam Hidalgo Klein is on too.
Yeah, just everything's going for the US at the moment as well. Even the charge down. Toulis got a great charge down, but the ball could have bounced anywhere. It bubbled into the arms of the USA, and they were able to reset another attack. Tides against Scotland at the moment. Let's see if we can wrestle it back.
The USA looking comfortable. Time for Scotland to come back into it. McGinty again. Lascitelli, good break this time. Another punishing runner, Bryce Campbell. Campbell makes it up. Scotland trying to turn it over. Back it comes to Davis. Davis looks up. Again to Hermes Hayes. He's abrasive, Hermes Hayes, isn't he? Denton asking, was it held? Davis goes, tackled by Denton. He's on his back. John Quill is there. You can shout, you can hear the shouts of the US players in the background. This is Manoa, this massive player, plays for Toulon. Scots go back to defend. Hermes Hayes plays pick and go, looks up, gives it to Savetta. Savetta the second row. It's all the USA. It's all the USA. Again, AJ McGinty, who's good at beating the first couple of tacklers, isn't he? Gives it to this man, Lasike. He's tackled by Hidalgo Klein. And it's a great piece of defence by Scotland. Plenty of continuity from the USA. And Fraser Brown with the turnover.
Well, we mentioned the impact of the bench. It was Sam Hidalgo Klein that spied Lasike, flew at the line, he hits him, and then Fraser Brown got over the top of the ball and couldn't be moved, won his side a penalty. That's maybe just that little bit of, I suppose, moment in the match that can turn it for Scotland's favour. It's the first thing they've won back for a long time, and maybe it can swing the momentum back. There was Sam Hidalgo Klein getting up quickly. Adam Hastings is in there as well, but number 16, Fraser Brown, wide base, strong over the ball. And it's one of the first times we've won a penalty or a turnover at the breakdown, and it's maybe a crucial one.
That's Lasike. What's interesting is that the USA Eagles aren't really playing the ball wide too much. They're playing narrow, taken by Brown. Brown gives it to Hooker. Oh, inside to Kinghorn. Blair Kinghorn. Kinghorn's over the 22. Kinghorn still going. Yes, Hastings with him. Scotland with the ball. Hidalgo Klein goes left to Denton. Denton through half a gap. Offloads to McGuigan. McGuigan steps inside one man. Inside two. He's tackled by Peterson, the big warrior. Glasgow Warriors. Taken up by Hastings. Hastings long ball. Long ball out to Swinson. Tim Swinson, the big number 6. 4, 5, 6 metres short. Lots of blue bodies in the ruck. Look up to, this is the tight head replacement, McCallum. Murray McCallum. Scotland playing well again. Again, Hidalgo Klein gives it to Bennett. Bennett skips inside one man. Scotland 5 metres short. Gives it to Hidalgo Klein. Hidalgo Klein looks up to Denton. Still to score a try for Scotland. Denton. Good impetus. Gilchrist. Gilchrist with Toulis. Absolutely thumping runs in Houston. Fraser Brown dives on the ball. Hidalgo Klein has. Again, McCallum doing well. Lots of possession coming his way. Round the corner, it was going to Denton. It's Bennett. Oh, yes! That's a try and a half. And the referee wants to see it again, but there was countless phases. And then Bennett came on the short ball. And as he got Scotland into a winning position again.
It's a try, yes or no, is a question that Wayne Barnes has asked. I'm pretty sure this is a try. It's Mark Bennett. We're going to have a look at, did he ground the ball? He's certainly over the line. Did he have control? We'll have a look here. Sean Davis makes the tackle. We're just having a look at whether he's lost the ball, and that is in control there. Oh, I think he maybe has lost the ball. I take it back. It's been knocked out of his hands. Whether it's his own hand or whether it's Sean Davis, it's Sean Davis's left arm.
He's going to York on this little screen we've got in the corner.
Yeah.
He's lost that, hasn't he?
That's not a try.
Not a great view. So we'll look at whether he's holding the ball when he's grounded or not. Have you got a decision?
Wayne Barnes obviously can't get a good view of the big screen, similar to the incident in the first half. So he's asking David Grassel for TMO to inform him, but I think he sees the pictures there. It looks like.
Yeah. Lost the ball. Thank you very much. No try.
Well, Scotland bench made an impact there. Manny McCallum carrying really, really hard. As soon as Blair Kinghorn got in behind, really threatened the USA defence. It was another fantastic break by Blair Kinghorn. And Scotland, they went through their phases, they went through their systems. But that man there on your screen, Sean Davis, his last-ditch effort, punched the ball out of the hand of Mark Bennett just as he was over the line. Could be a big moment in this match.
Yeah, on comes Chris Baumann.
He's an experienced
he's
front row
been
as well.
Leicester Tigers.
Okay, first scrum, just patience.
The crowd are still fully engaged.
It's good.
Well,
they're taking Davis off. He's been playing well, Davis.
Crouch.
Augsburger's a good player as well.
Yeah, Augsburger's a sevens expert. The new number 9, well, rather number 21 there on the left-hand side. Augsburger, good player. Ben Landry, too, good tackler, plays for one of the other pro teams here. There he is, the number 20. Glendale, one of the MLR Major League Rugby teams.
I think this is worth Scotland having a real
crack at this
scrum. Really go after it. You've got fresh props. You've got big Dave Denton in the back row just in. Really go after this. Make it miserable for USA. And if they do get it, make it hard for them to clear.
George trying to get his feet back. Oh, good secure ball by the USA. Taken by McGinty. McGinty's almost caught. Oh, just gets into touch. It'll be a line out to the Scots. Good pressure from Scotland.
That was good. Sam Haddad playing hard into the back of the scrum as well. McGinty, who's been so impressive, managed to get the ball away. I actually think he couldn't get his kick away because Lasike, his inside centre, was in the way. And he ran laterally, so he was closer to that right-hand touchline. He didn't make a lot of ground with it, but he got off the field, and the USA can reset.
Well, the lineouts have been profitable, haven't they? George Turner knows that. Here he is.
It'll be Grant Gilchrist is calling the lineout now, so it'll be his decision. Or the catch and drive, the throw at the front, the middle of the tail.
Sweetly done. Round that blind side. Oh, didn't work. No space. Pass to Turner. It was too high. Went through his hands. Wet, slippy, sweaty ball.
Yeah, it's just a little bit too intricate, wasn't it? They've had so much success from the driving maul over the last couple of weeks, and in fact the first half here as well. Maybe it's a double bluff. The USA were expecting the drive and they've shifted it, but they're still here. The USA still have to get out of their 22, and Scotland should still be applying pressure.
Easily taken. Peterson has. I think he's on instead of Samuel Manoa, is he? And Tillis has managed to spin this round. Swinson, his usual abrasive self. The USA have. Just kicked long by Augsburger. Such a finely balanced game.
This is well to get that away. Nate Augsburger, the scrum half. I thought Manny McCallum had swum round the maul illegally, but he'd gotten in nice and early.
Your second row's down, okay. Watch it stop. Watch it stop.
No, watch it stop. There's somebody, is it Toulis that's getting? Oh, it's a big Grant Gilchrist. He went through to try and charge down the scrum half.
Right. Okay?
Putting pressure on.
Yeah, no, of course it will.
Augsburger just as he put his kick away. But it's interesting. You see Gilchrist flying through there. Just caught a bash in the nose maybe. But that's a good sign as well. Make it really difficult for the team who are trying to exit to clear the lines to get away. Scrum halves hate it, but it's so effective.
Yeah. You can sense the atmosphere in the stadium, can't you? it's good to see the way other countries support their teams. The USA fans are right behind this team. Denton Haas taken round by George Turner. Turner runs into a couple of tackles. You've got Taufetti is there. Round it comes to McCallum. He's come into a good game. Hidalgo Klein looks, the ball's produced well. Hastings thinks, goes left to right. Fraser Brown spins round, and it's a forward pass from Adam Hastings, was it?
Yeah, just drifted forward. It looks as if it was a kind of 2 or 3 phase move there, a planned move from the line out. George Turner did really well. He was actually hit really hard by Landry. I think Ben Landry, who made the initial contact, initial tackle. And that stopped the momentum as Landry gets a little bit of treatment. I don't know if we'll have another look at that, but it was a fantastic tackle. And then it looked as if Scotland were going to flood down the left-hand side. And because the USA's defence is strong, Adam Hastings came back right and the pass drifted forward.
Do you know, it's good to analyse these games, isn't it? You had a first half where Scotland got the early try, a bit of confidence, inexperienced players. We know the USA have scored 60 points in some of the games. They've come back, they're on the home turf. They've got bigger, big forwards, and they're playing narrow, but they're kicking. They kick and chase.
They've been accurate. The USA have been accurate, and they've been, committed as always. All international teams, all rugby teams are committed, but they've been accurate with it. See Dougie Fife coming onto the field as well.
Surprised they've taken off some of these players. I thought Kermesses was playing well.
He looked exhausted, didn't he? But Ben Landry, he has a good impact as well. It's Barry McGuigan who makes way for Dougie Fife coming on. And he says 9 minutes or 8 minutes left, just over 8 minutes left. There will be opportunities for Scotland on this test. In the remaining 8 minutes there will be, and they've just got to try and stick to their system, stick to their structures, trust what has brought them a lot of good results. So the USA, on the other hand, well, they're unbeaten in 2018.
Yeah.
Scored over 60 points in the last 2 games against, World Cup qualified opposition in Uruguay and Russia. 9 tries last week. But it's a defence and it's a game management that's impressed me this evening.
What's up?
It's a big pack. Let's not beat around the bush. That's a big USA pack. Look at the front row. Look at the condition of the back row. They look well conditioned.
Well, Greg Peterson's a giant, the beard.
Yeah.
Second row, he plays at Glasgow Warriors. When you see him in amongst the Glasgow Warriors squad, he's a giant. And he blends in there, doesn't he?
Savetta beside him is 6'8".
They just want to make sure you're okay. Just got a HIA.
That's a big pack. Yeah, it's Landry getting an HIA. Good refereeing by Wayne Barnes, just sending Ben Landry for a head injury assessment. That was the tackle they put in on George Turner.
Stop the watch, please.
So maybe.
Thank you.
We'll come back on. Maybe
Hermes come back on. Hermes says maybe, yeah.
Please put it on when I say.
Yeah, he's back on, number 7. Just when he thought he was going to get a rest.
Okay. Yeah, it's inside. Just give yourself space. Please don't stand up, either of you.
The USA team just clarifying that the scrum is inside the 22. So that,
okay, watch back on, please.
Depends. That then has a knock-on effect of whether they can kick straight out. So if they want to get the ball off the field here, they can kick it straight off the field. Because the source of the scrum is inside the 22.
Oh, good pressure by the Scots. Well won, though, by the USA. Dolan, the number 8, just stood his ground.
It's inside.
Nate Ausberger, as I said, the 7's expert. There he is at 9. Has 3 forwards there. Gives it to the man who, well, he's very much the man of the evening. Joe Taufetti, 2 tries.
It's now taken back.
McGinty knows he can't just stick this one out. The Dougie Fife watches it. He has his captain beside him, Stuart Hogg, gives it to Kinghorn. I think Kinghorn's grown in stature. Just this last couple of games, he's now become, well, he's certainly one of the players you would stick on the team sheet pretty quickly. Well taken by Dell to Peter Horn. Peter Horn is tackled. Dougie Fife is there in support. Hidalgo Klein, Scotland desperate to get back into this game. Still losing by 6 points, 6 minutes left. Makes such a difference if you win. Was that a knock-on? I think it's an injury and a knock-on. The Scots, look at the atmosphere among these USA players. They're loving it. They're loving the fact that they're beating Scotland in Houston.
Yeah, it was just too narrow in that blind side there. George Turner did really well actually to carry it. Alan Dell did well to hold on to a long pass, and I think it's Peter Horn saw a bit of space inside Greg Peterson.
Right, just make sure, right.
Greg Peterson knew what was happening. He stepped in, made the tackle. Peter Horne just lost control of the possession. So it's a scrum on half field to the USA. They're 6 points to the good in the final 5 minutes or so of this test match. There's one or two guys getting treatment. It is such a physical game nowadays. Add to that, you played in 30-degree plus heat. It's a big challenge. Obviously the next year's World Cup we were all building towards is in Japan, so they'll face different temperatures. They'll do a lot of travel. This tour that Scotland are on, they're obviously played in Canada last week, they're in Houston this evening, they're in Resistencia in Argentina next week, so it's 3 games, a lot of travel, not a lot of time to train. In between these games, there's so much travel. As Lasike takes a well-earned rest, he's put himself about as always. We spoke about him beforehand, but he's been destructive, and he'll be replaced, I think, by Will McGee, I think, in the midfield for the USA.
Leeds University from London, Will McGee in the midfield. I mean, if the USA win this will cause a ripple in World Rugby, because although it's by no means a fully experienced Scottish side,
Crouch.
It is now. Many more of the players on the pitch now are experienced campaigners. As we said at the start, only 5 of the starters were in double figures. Penalty to Scotland.
Yeah, it's a cracking scrum. Huge pressure coming through in Taufet in the hooking position.
2 to his knees and out of the scrum.
Yeah, and this is where the experience tells. You know, just under 5 minutes to go. Don't panic.
No.
You've got an opportunity to find a good touch deep in the territory of the USA.
Just needs one more perfect kick by Stuart Hogg. Just needs one more.
Oh, he's not happy with the assistant referee, but it's sticking to your system, it's sticking to your structure. There'll be a clear call, win the possession, and then we'll see
that's right.
whether they drive this, whether they go for the top, whether they move the big American pack around. But it's sticking to the systems. They'll have a plan for being in this situation. Let's see if we can execute and get success.
Here we go, Gilchrist has. Scottish Mauls have been going really well. At the back with George Turner. The USA trying to stop it at source. The Scots moving closer to the line. What is this? 3.5 minutes long, penalty advantage. Turner has. Hidalgo Klein gives to Bennett. Bennett swarmed. Horne is there with him. And they're going to play the penalty advantage. Will they go for another line-out, maybe?
Collapse.
Yeah, I think so. It was well managed. Good discipline and good patience, because the USA defended that initially pretty well, and then Scotland got it moving forward, knowing that if the ball, if the ball was collapsed, it would win a penalty. It's another good throw. It's another good call. Another good execution needed.
It's been one of those games. You just don't know what's going to happen. The USA had the momentum at the start of the second half. On comes Dylan Fawcett, another Irish descendancy player anyway. He was brought across here, Dylan Fawcett. 6 points, the deficit.
Okay, as they land. Watch on.
Denton lifts Gilchrist. Gilchrist has. Fraser Brown has. Back it comes to George Turner. Could this be the key try? They need to convert the try to win. It's a 6-point game. Turner has. He's been told to get out. It's Savita. And it's gone down. Referee says play on. Was that knocked on by Hidalgo Klein? Was it knocked out of his hands? Whatever it is, it's a turnover for the US of A. The US Eagles, a couple of minutes left. They're going to try and keep this ball. Taken up, I think, by Peterson. Tense moments in Houston. Nate Augsburger shouts at his team. Savetta comes round to this other side. They have to use it. Swinson tries to charge down. It touched his hands. It'll be a line out to the US of A.
Yeah, it was charged down. Nate Augsburger's just making sure that Wayne Barnes is aware of that. I think it was Toulis. And Gilchrist had got through. So that'll be the USA throwing. Well defended again. USA didn't put anyone up against the throw on the last line. They just put all their eggs in one basket and stopped the drive. And then as the ball came out, it looked as if it was maybe a hand came through and interfered with the ball as it was presented to Sam Hidalgo Klein. It's come half.
Scotland open.
But Wayne Barnes was happy with it. and the USA could clear the lines.
Crucial 2 minutes left. Yeah. And the key to tonight, a couple of things. You don't want to lose a game, but international ranking points up for grabs. The USA will do everything they can to keep this ball. Minute and a half left as they grind up the pitch. And that is Tulis has managed to get in. And the US have. And could this be a famous US win? This is exactly what Scotland didn't want, but they've the US, they deserve this position they're in.
And they're controlling the situation really well, aren't they? They're communicating well with Wayne Barnes, they're looking after possession, they're not taking too many risks. Scotland are throwing everything that they have to try and disrupt to win the ball back.
Dolan takes 45, sets a penalty to Scotland.
Sealing off.
Whoa!
Number 19, straight off your feet.
Drama. This is for the winning.
Yeah,
this is for the winning.
Referees are hot on this. They want to make a fair challenge for the ball. Greg Peterson goes straight off his feet, not allowing a fair competition from the ball. And when teams are trying to play the clock out, referees look for that. It's a good decision by Wayne Barnes. It was a bit silly by Greg Peterson. And Scotland have one more opportunity.
Sure do.
And that's right, I'm told.
32 seconds left. He needs a try and a conversion.
And he's calm heads to start with. They need to make sure they get the call. Stuart Hogg's in there. Grant Gilchrist, the line-out leader, the line-out caller, making sure everybody understands the system, everyone understands the call. And then it's a matter of executing it under the pressure. 32 seconds remaining.
It's a winnable game. The game's never over.
Watch on, please. Off feet.
It's a line-out.
That's the first part done. Well, interesting to see. We'll look for the USA. They've gone quickly. George Turner to Grant Gilchrist.
Taken to Gilchrist. Penalty advantage. Penalty. This is a winnable game. 15 seconds left. Plus penalties, plus all the rest of it. And here it goes. Here's George Turner moving forward. Peterson has him. He's been told to get out. Taken up by Denton. Still advantage. David Denton smashes up. Taken by Kermes. Adam Hastings to Dougie Fife. Fife came off his left wing. Hidalgo Klein gives it to Bennett. Bennett has Kinghorn. Bennett's held up. Still playing penalty advantage, are we, Mr. Barnes? Taken by Hidalgo Klein to Gilchrist. Head down. Steams up. Oh.
There's an injury, is it?
Could be a head knock. We can't see the pictures. Someone's screaming.
We go back for the
Sounds
penalty.
like a knee injury.
Okay. Yeah. You just make sure he's
That's never nice to see. It's John Quill and James Robson first on the scene there. It's wonderful to see from the Scottish perspective. And from a World Rugby perspective, the Scottish doctors on immediately to help one of the USA guys. And Wayne Barnes, such an experienced, good referee, knew the situation blew up, and he'll come back for the penalty for Scotland.
We're at full time, thank you. Yeah.
No, we don't want to watch.
Penalty, man in the air. Okay, so we'll go back. It's on the 5 metre, so but it'll be in 15.
Just twist. There must have been someone that alerted. See Wayne Barnes there.
He's screaming.
One of the Scottish players as well as alerting the assistant referee to the injury.
Oh no, the HIA can come back on for the other player if it's not gone over 10 minutes. Hold on.
It's certainly been a heroic effort from the USA, isn't it? And there's going to be one. Well, we said there was one little opportunity for Scotland. They've got another one here.
Okay, so what's happened?
This is the HIA, it's been cleared.
Right, and has he been cleared within 10 minutes, or has he gone beyond 10 minutes?
No, within 10 minutes.
Within 10 minutes, so this is a 10-minute point, so he can come back on, the other player can come back on.
Yep.
This is where players always tell each other excitedly to keep cool heads.
Yeah, it's Wayne Barnes as well.
Have they got another replacement or not?
You hear the referee Wayne Barnes.
They can bring a player off who's already been subbed. If he wants.
Looks like the USA might have run out of all their subs.
Well, they're down to 14 men.
Back on for the HIA.
Yeah, they've run out of subs, and The player who went
can only come on
So the HIA
if he's
is cleared,
passed.
so you want to bring him on for the HIA, so that's fine.
All right, so it's less
So you
than
can do
10
that
minutes,
one.
he can come on.
Yeah, so it's Ben
But
Landry.
then you have to make a replacement for that player.
Yeah.
So that player can... you want to reverse your HIA, is that correct? Okay, no. What do you want to do with your HIA player? What do you want to do with your HIA player?
So
Do
this
you
is
want
separate
your
to the knee
HIA
injury.
is reversed?
So this is it,
So
HIA,
this is,
and then there's no
so
one else to
this-
bring back on.
yeah, this is key because this is an HIA player. And are they going to reverse the HIA or not? Did he fail or did he pass his
Well,
HIA?
they're saying he's passed, and they're saying it's within 10 minutes.
Let's just make it clear. A substituted player can only come back on the pitch for a HIA or a blood. Okay? So the player who you want to bring off can't come on for this player. So you have to replace this player.
Yeah.
So go. So you
we could be here all night, ladies and gentlemen.
7 off.
We've been here all night, John. Yeah,
It's been a good game. It's been a game
it's been an
with
excellent game, yeah.
ebb and flow. Scotland started off well. USA came back in. Still, I mean, I've said it twice, but it's still a game that's winnable.
So this will be Ben Landry coming back on for Hermes,
Hermes.
and then the USA will still be down to 14 men because of
And you want 22 for 6. Is that right?
they've run out of replacements, I think.
So 22 for 6.
Now
Thank
Will
you.
McGee they're going to take off again, I think, who's just came on, and replace him. 22's coming on now.
Yeah.
So he's now. So they did have someone. They must have. So Will McGee hasn't been on. The initial discussion was the fact
It's
that
on
they'd
the
used all
15,
their
so you don't even
substitutions.
have to
Must have
kick
had
it if
Dylan
you don't
Owsley
want-
on
You don't
there.
even have to kick it. Okay? Penalty, man in the air, they're taking the line
Anyway,
out.
we're back to here. We're
Line
going
out
to have
taken.
to be composed. They have to execute
Let them land.
the plan.
Let them land.
And we'll see this time if
Not if
the
it's a
USA
penalty.
go up and contest it, if they stay down to
I
defend the drive.
wonder, given they need the conversion, will they try and drive round the tail and get closer to the posts? Here we go, taken by Gilchrist. It's a slightly messy one, though. And have the USA got it? No. Down the left-hand side goes, is that Dougie Fife? Dougie Fife is smashed. He smashed high. Hidalgo Klein has. Scotland need to score a try. They need to convert it to win. Picked up by Murray McCallum. He's played well, Murray McCallum. And they're going to do pick and go. Tullis, pick and go, taken down by Peterson and his troops. Denton has. Denton over the top. Swinson. Time's run out. 81 minutes played. The next breakdown is crucial. Scotland need a try. They're moving towards the post. This is ideal if Scotland can get this down. Taken by Gilchrist. Gilchrist just takes it. Penalty advantage is not there. Taken by Denton. Denton smashed down. Fraser Brown calling for reinforcements. Dell is there too. Swinson's been involved in everything. And was that knocked on? Back it comes. Gilchrist on top of his own players. White hands in there. Is that turnover? Off his feet. Scotland still have. There the posts. It's a 6-point game. It needs a converted try. We know this. Through the middle goes Turner. Turner is battered down. Hidalgo Klein gives it to Tullis. He's had a good game too, Tullis. And Hidalgo Klein gives it to Denton. Denton, there's the posts. Absolutely key passages of play here. And Swinson again keeps presenting himself with the ball. Hidalgo Klein looks left. Denton into Peterson. Denton has the ball. Comes back to the Scots. Scots have a bit of momentum. Gilchrist runs into these big back row players. Again, they're making ground. Swinson again wants the ball. Chris, what would you do? Just keep this pattern?
They have to keep it going. They're not making a lot of ground. Scotland, the defence of the USA is ferocious.
Reasonable.
They're slowing the possession down.
Not the side.
Scotland have to keep their composure.
There are a couple of gaps around the side of the rucks. Fraser Brown is knocked
19,
back.
off your feet.
And again, that little pod of three. Now they go left. Adam Hastings. Hastings threads it out to Fife. And Fife is in. We've played 3 minutes of extra time. Fife scores the try to take Scotland within 1 point. A conversion wins the game. Drama drama in Houston.
Well, what a score, what a pass by Adam Hastings. Scotland knew what they were doing, they were keeping possession, the forwards worked so hard. After 80 minutes, they kept going, they kept bludgeoning away. One pass out, Fraser Brown deliberately almost took a soft challenge to get quicker ball, and then Adam Hastings read the play, came from right to left, he carried, he then delivered a lovely long pass out in front to Dougie Fife, who did what he needed to do and finish. There's a long pass over the top, fantastic vision, fantastic execution. Dougie Fife finishes off well in the left-hand corner, and it all comes down to Blair Kinghorn.
Time your run, okay? Time your run.
It's been a brilliant evening's entertainment. Watch Adam Hastings here, just threads the ball through the eye of the needle to Dougie Fife. And Fife scores the try. It's going to be, what, 4 minutes, 4 metres from the touchline. Crowd are booing. Time is up. This to win the match.
Well, he's kicked well so far. I mean, this one penalty earlier on, but 2 conversions from the touchline, 1 from either side. And it's this is all about keeping your system, keeping your process, focusing the ball.
Here we go.
Keep your rhythm.
Nearly 85 minutes gone. Wayne Barnes looks on. Blair Kinghorn, he's had an amazing evening's work. Here he is. He takes these couple of strides, kicks the ball. Does he look happy? Does he look happy? Does he look happy? He's missed it. Oh boy. He's missed it. And the USA are rightly delighted. They are rightly delighted. They lose it. And the USA have a deserved and shock win over Scotland. Their first win over Scotland in 6 occasions in the Texas heat in Houston. Next up, it's Scotland against Argentina. The final score, USA 30, Scotland, the losers 29.